Have you ever wondered why so many people make good money but still feel broke? You're not alone. Most people never learn how to actually build a financial plan that works for their life. And here's the surprising part. The plan that really works for you probably looks nothing like what your neighbor, your cousin, or that Instagram influencer does. In this video, I'm going to walk you step by step through creating your own personal financial plan that actually works. And stick with me to the end, because I'll reveal the biggest mistake beginners make that secretly sabotages their progress, and how you can avoid it. Let's get started. Number 1. Know where you stand right now. You can't get anywhere if you don't know where you're starting. Grab a notebook, a spreadsheet, or even a napkin if that's all you've got. Write down 3 things: how much you make, how much you spend, and what you already owe. For example, say you bring in $300 a month, but your bills and spending add up to $3,200. That tells you you're already going into the red each month, and that's the first thing to fix. Many beginners assume they're doing okay because they don't see overdraft fees yet. But trust me, little leaks sink big ships. So list out your income, your expenses, and your debts clearly. Even if the numbers scare you, they're just numbers, and knowing is way better than guessing. Number 2. Define what you actually want. This is where most financial advice gets boring and useless. You see, a financial plan isn't just spend less and save more. It's about building the life you actually want. Take a minute to dream. Do you want to buy a home in 5 years? Quit your job and start a business someday? Pay for your kids' college. Write down 2 or 3 goals that matter most to you. Here's an example. Let's say you want to pay off $10,000 in credit card debt within 2 years and save for a down payment on a house. Great. Now we can build a plan with a purpose, because if you don't define what success looks like for you, you'll just feel like you're working all the time and getting nowhere. Number 3. Build an emergency fund first. Before you rush into paying down debt or investing in stocks, you need a cushion. Life happens: a car repair, a trip to the emergency room, a lost job. And if you don't have a buffer, you'll end up back on credit cards. So aim for at least $500 to $1,000 in a separate savings account to start. It doesn't have to be perfect. Even saving $20 a week gets you to $1,000 in under a year. One beginner I coached told me she started with just a jar of cash in her closet, and now she's got 6 months of expenses saved. That little bit of breathing room makes the rest of your plans so much easier. Number 4. Create a budget that you'll actually stick to. Here's where most people quit. They make a strict, joyless budget and then break it in a week. Instead, build a spending plan you can actually live with. Start by sorting your expenses into 3 categories: needs, wants, and savings. A popular guideline is 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt. For example, on $3,000 a month, needs, like rent, utilities, food, $1,500. Wants, like dining out, streaming services, $900. Savings and debt, $600. Of course, adjust those percentages based on your goals. If you want to pay off debt faster, maybe cut wants to 20%. And here's a little hack. Automate your savings and bill payments so you're not tempted to spend what you shouldn't. Number 5. Attack high-interest debt first. Debt is like a hole you're digging while trying to climb out, especially credit card debt, which often charges interest rates over 20%. So focus on paying that down as fast as you can. Some people like the snowball method, paying off the smallest debt first for motivation. Others prefer the avalanche method, paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first to save money long term. For example, if you owe $5,000 at 20% and $2,000 at 15%, paying the $5,000 first saves you more on interest. Either way, keep making minimum payments on all debts and throw extra cash at your target debt. Seeing those balances drop is a great feeling. Number 6. Start investing early. Even a little. This is where a lot of beginners freeze. They think investing is only for rich people. But you can start with as little as $25 a week, and thanks to compound growth, that can grow to thousands over time. For example, if you invest just $100 a month at an average return of 7%, you'll have about $120,000 after 30 years. That's the magic of starting early. You don't even need to pick individual stocks. Just open a Roth IRA or 401k and invest in a low-cost index fund. One beginner I worked with started with a simple app on her phone and is now on track to retire early. Don't wait for the right time. The right time is now. Number 7. Protect yourself and your family. This is the step most beginners overlook because it's not exciting. But having the right insurance and legal documents can save you from disaster. At minimum, you should have health insurance, renters or homeowners insurance, and auto insurance. If you have kids, consider life insurance to protect them if something happens to you. And set up a basic will so your money and possessions go where you want them to. It's not just about building wealth. It's about keeping it safe. Number 8. Review and adjust regularly. A financial plan is not something you write once and forget. Life changes. You get a new job, have kids, move to another city. So check in with your plan every few months. One of my clients set a calendar reminder for the first Saturday of every quarter to review her progress. That little habit keeps her on track and motivated, and it gives her permission to adjust her goals as her life changes. Think of your financial plan like a GPS. It recalculates if you take a wrong turn. Number 9. The biggest mistake to avoid. Remember, at the beginning when I promised to tell you the biggest beginner mistake? Here it is, trying to be perfect. Too many people give up the first time they overspend or miss a savings goal. But building a financial plan is not about perfection. It's about progress. Every dollar you save, every debt you pay down, every good habit you build, they all add up. Don't beat yourself up if you slip. Just pick yourself back up and keep going. That mindset is what separates the people who succeed from the people who quit. Number 10. Don't compare your journey to others. This is one of the silent killers of motivation. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Maybe you see a friend posting about buying a house while you're still paying down credit cards, or your coworker seems to afford fancy vacations while you're sticking to your budget. Here's what you need to remember. Everyone's life, income, and priorities are different. One of my students once told me she felt ashamed because her emergency fund only had $2,000, while her sister had $15,000 saved. But guess what? That $2,000 was a huge milestone for her and exactly what she needed at that stage of her life. So keep your eyes on your own progress. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, because comparison robs you of the confidence you need to stick with your plan. Number 11. Automate good habits. One of the smartest ways to make your plan fail-proof is to remove as much decision-making as possible. Why? Because the more you have to think about saving, the more likely you are to skip it just this month. So set up automatic transfers, even small ones. For example, have your bank automatically move $50 from your checking account to savings every payday. Or set up your workplace for a 1K to take out 5% of your paycheck before it ever hits your account. One client of mine called it out of sight, out of mind, and she was shocked at how quickly her savings grew just by letting automation do the work. Number 12. Leave room for fun. Here's something almost no financial advisor tells you. Your budget needs a little fun money. Why? Because life is meant to be lived, and depriving yourself completely usually backfires. I once worked with a young couple who cut all entertainment from their budget and tried to save half their income. They lasted 3 weeks and then blew $400 on a weekend getaway because they deserved it. So plan for joy in your plan. Maybe it's $50 a month for eating out. Maybe it's $100 for hobbies or date nights. When you know you've got space for fun built in, it makes sticking to your plan way easier and way more enjoyable. Number 13. Learn as you go. The most successful people I've seen didn't know everything before they started. They started and learned along the way. You don't have to be an investing genius to open your first Roth IRA. You don't need a finance degree to create a working budget. One single mom I know started by just watching a few videos and reading one book. 2 years later, she had paid off $8,000 in debt, saved a 3-month emergency fund, and even started investing for her kids' future. It all started because she chose action over perfection. So don't feel like you need all the answers. Just keep learning one step at a time. Number 14. Visualize your future. Here's a little trick that keeps a lot of my clients motivated. Picture your future self. Close your eyes and imagine what life will feel like when you're debt-free, or when you can pay cash for your dream vacation, or when you can retire early and spend time doing what you love. Research actually shows that people who visualize their financial goals are more likely to reach them. So put a photo of your goal on your fridge, write down your why, and stick it on your bathroom mirror. Whatever it takes to keep that dream alive, do it. Number 15. Surround yourself with support. Trying to stick to your plan in isolation is hard, especially if the people around you don't understand your goals. So find a friend, a family member, or even an online group where you can share your progress, your struggles, and your wins. One guy in my workshop said just having one buddy to text every time he paid down another $500 of debt made all the difference. And if you don't have someone in your circle yet, don't worry. There are tons of free communities online full of people working toward the same thing. Don't underestimate how much easier the journey feels when you're not walking it alone. Remember, creating a financial plan that works isn't about being perfect. It's about taking one step and then the next. It's about adjusting when life changes, forgiving yourself when you slip, and celebrating every win along the way. And most of all, it's about creating a life you're proud to live. So, now that you've seen all these steps and examples, which one are you going to start with today? Tell me in the comments. I can't wait to hear about your first step toward your best financial life.